Germanness explained. How can we understand the meaning of any people on the earth? This animated video explains what it means or was originally meant to be German. Intro. Germanness, as we now understand it, emerged in the late 17th and early 18th centuries and cannot be understood without a firm grasp of the term pietism, which will be fully explored. A quick background. A nation-state of Germany begins on the back of decades of religious conflict. By the 16th century, the West was now rising and Western culture was being shaped by two main cultures. 1. Greco-Roman culture of the Greeks and of the Romans, and 2. Christian culture epitomized by Martin Luther, 1483–1546. The latter influenced the German cities more strongly. Since the German cities are located in the center of Europe, they consistently drew commerce and war, and by the 17th century, became a battlefield of Europe's great powers. The 30 Years' War, 1618–1648, which was the bitter conflict between Catholics and Protestants, was therefore fought largely on German territories. Among the resultant effects was that some of the major German states, e.g. Bavaria and Prussia, became separated from the Roman Catholic Church into Protestant states. Pietism movement spread and forms the core of Germanness. Pietism had first appeared in 1670 largely within the Kingdom of Prussia. The aim of Pietism was to return to the life which reflected the Lutheran, Martin Luther's, pristine simplicity, meaning to live with the principles which emerged much earlier from the Martin Luther Reformation. In 1517, Luther wrote his 95 thesis arguing against the Catholic indulgences and teachings. This Pietism movement emerged into a life of 5 main practices, namely 1. Cultivation of the heart, 2. Prayer, 3. Biblical practices, 4. Heartfelt repentance, and 5th, daily introspection. The culture of the Pietists required the people to use these practices to improve society through practical acts of charity, i.e., vocational labor. 4th, Pietists developed the German educational system. August Hermann Francke, 1663–1727, was a key leading figure, and he led the state to form an educational system which was about very strict supervision and a system designated to inculcate the habit of asceticism in education. Being ascetic means practicing strict self-denial as a measure of personal and especially spiritual discipline, avoiding physical comforts and living a simple life. The system also trained people to develop unquestioning obedience to God's authority, with the clergy primarily responsible as the teaching estate. The educational system moves from church to state into Bildung. At the time of Frederick the Great, Gerlach Adolf von Münchhausen, 1688–1770, led to transfer the center of gravity of this education from church to the state. How? Friedrich the Great, who was among the great Hohenzollern rulers who established the Prussian state, which in turn created a united Germany, did a couple of defining things for the Germans. Among others, he ushered in the service and bureaucratic culture built on the ongoing Pietist culture. The service ideology of the time was a fruit of the Pietist movement. Though Friedrich Wilhelm was not a Pietist, its work ethic was something he believed and engaged in. He insisted that education became compulsory to all and urged some religious tolerance. Over time, education and the educated man were transformed to focus on Bildung, i.e., from external outlook of human development, particularly as happened in 1870, Halle under Francke, to Bildung, internal concept representing the inner development of the individual, a process of fulfillment through education and knowledge. Bildung, from its original sense, meant a secular search for perfection, progress, and refinement, both in knowledge and in moral realms, wisdom and self-realization. Secularization of Bildung and education. The concept of Bild, which formed the term Bildung, was part of the Pietism culture's beliefs derived from the Holy Bible that God created man in his own image. At the times of Frederick Wilhelm I and Frederick the Great's reigns, they secularized Bildung without losing the subjective ideals of personal perfection, among others. Bildung essentially became a secular salvation through culture, making Bildung in effect a secular form of pietism. This transformed the education of the society under the influence of Bildung. The German culture had thus been well shaped through education of its people based on the concept of Bildung, which was backed by the pietist beliefs. Summary: the German is thus essentially one who seeks personal perfection from within and is interested in a simple life rather than affluence. The culture was strongly based on development of the personality via long training and pursuit and advancement of knowledge. The German is essentially an inner-seeking person, and the society is not very social nor externally focused. Germanness therefore largely implied looking inward and to God, personal reflection and perfection. It was also about contributing to society and community through vocation, training, and education. They actually sought fulfillment through education and knowledge. The culture also promoted a life of discipline. This has been the foundation of the German people and their culture. Do you see many of these traits in Germans of today? Please share your views and ideas with us, subscribe, and check out other intriguing videos on this channel. Lessons Untold. Relax, review, and reflect. Thank you for watching.